Let's get you your July Fond du Lac housing market update. Here are the 4 answers you need to know. Let's dive into how competitive is it, how fast is it, what's the inventory situation, and affordability. What can your money buy for you? Starting with how competitive is it, how much did houses sell over asking? Well, the majority of them sold 3K to 12K over. How many of them sold over? Well, about 65% of them sold over asking, while 80% sold at or above asking. And this is pretty similar to last summer. Then, what was the most active price point? Really, under 400K, all of it was active. How quickly are these houses moving? Well, 57% of houses that sold in July accepted an offer in about 1 week, and in about 2 weeks was 80%. So we can still see many of them are moving fairly quickly. How many houses are taking price reductions? About 17% of solds took price reductions, and this is pretty consistent with the past 2 months, and it's just slightly more than last summer. Finally, what is the median days on market? It was 39 for this month, and it's been in the 30s the past 2 Julys. Let's talk about the inventory situation. How many houses sold in July? About 40. That is 10 more than 2023's July, but it's 6 less than 2022's. So if you've been watching my videos this year, that's been pretty common that we're falling between 2022 and 2023 for amount sold. How many total houses are on the market now? Well, the good news is we have not had this much inventory since July of 2022. So we are seeing more inventory. It's the second highest month of inventory since the very beginning of 2022. These houses are still being scooped up though, because only 36% of the houses on the market are completely available. A median priced home for July was $225,000, and this is pretty in line with what we were seeing in the beginning of 2024, the first 4 months. It's been normal to be in the 200s for a median home price. This one here is 509 Roosevelt that sold for $225K. It was built in 1959. It's just under 1,000 square feet, has a 1-car garage on a pretty standard city lot of 0.16 acres. It's 3-bed, 2-bath. It's semi-updated where it's been a little refreshed, but not fully updated, and it also has some finished basement space. So what does it look like to buy this median priced home? Well, if you are a first-time home buyer and putting down 5%, that is a down payment of about $11,250. Our interest rate has been around 6.5%, so that's what I'm using in your standard 30-year loan. You are looking at a payment of $1,351.05. Now, just remember, this doesn't include your taxes, insurance, or PMI, and if you put more down, then your payment would also be less. Let's take a peek at the low and high ends of solds in Fond du Lac in the month of July, and these are the 2 kitchens of them. So the low end was at 373 Grove. That sold for $109,150. It's an 80s, 90s type look throughout the home. It does need some TLC. Built in 1900, just under 1,000 square feet, a 3-bed, 1-bath, 1-car garage with a small yard of 0.09. Then on the high end, the highest one that wasn't a brand new construction was 28 Corvette Circle. This one was built in 1994 and it sold for $445,000. It's mostly that original 90s look, but the kitchen has been updated, which you can see here. It's a 4-bed, 3.5-bath, 3-car garage on 0.81 acres. So a pretty big city lot. The basement is finished with about 650 square feet below grade and is pretty nice with a feeder room in it. And above grade, we're about 2,400 square feet. So what's the summary? How competitive is the market? Well, of the houses that sold in July, 80% of them sold at or above. So I would say it's still pretty competitive. How fast is the market moving? Well, over half of the houses that sold in July accepted an offer within about a week, and 80% did in about 2 weeks. So it is fast and it is still moving. And what about inventory? It's the most we've seen in 2 years. And finally, for affordability, look at the median priced home, the low end, the high end, and you can see how those compare to the price point that you are looking in or want to look in, or if you're looking to sell, how your house compares to those. Thanks for joining me, and I'll catch you next month.